World Metrology Day is celebrated globally to highlight the importance of measurement science in driving innovation, shaping industries, and ensuring quality standards across society. Bringing together key stakeholders from government ministries, departments, and agencies, the organized private sector, and academia, the Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, joined the global community in commemorating World Metrology Day 2026 under the theme, Metrology, Building Trust in Policy Making. In his opening remarks, the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of SON, Dr. Ifeanyi Chukwunonso Okeke, described the theme as timely and strategic, stressing the importance of trustworthy measurement systems in informed decision-making, national development, and public confidence.
Metrology is one part of the quality infrastructure. Quality infrastructure has 5 layers or 5 parts. We have standardization. You must have a standard, right? An agreed, acceptable measurement, right? Standardization. The second part is what? Conformity assessment. You must test, you must inspect, you must certify. This is another part of quality infrastructure. The third part is called accreditation. You need to have a body that is vested with the functions of accrediting you to be sure that you are working. Even as a standard body, we need to have accreditations. They need to be able to monitor and see that what we are doing is the right thing, right? The fourth part of it is called market surveillance. Everything we do in SON ends at the market. If there's a poor quality product, it's at the market that we're going to purchase it. So you need to have a proper eye in the market. You need to continuously monitor what is coming into the market. You need to also continuously, listen to complaints from the consumers or anything that's adversely affecting the quality of products. And then third, finally, is the metrology. This year's theme is both timely and strategic. In today's rapidly evolving world, effective policy making depends heavily on reliable data, accurate measurements, verifiable standards. I will come to this later. Governments, industries, regulators, consumers all require trustworthy measurement systems to make informed decisions and impact lives, businesses, and national development.
He further highlighted the role of metrology in everyday life, noting that confidence in measurement remains essential to building trust in systems and institutions, while reaffirming SON's commitment to strengthening Nigeria's quality infrastructure through calibration, testing, inspection, and standards development.
Indeed, measurement influences virtually every aspect of our daily existence, from the quantity of fuel we dispense at the filling stations, the accuracy of medical diagnostics, the safety of food pharmaceuticals, the industrial production processes, the environmental monitoring, energy distribution, digital technologies. Without confidence in measurement, public trust and system institutions can be weakened. At the Standard Organization of Nigeria, metrology remains one of our core mandates in strengthening Nigerian quality infrastructure. Through our calibration testing, inspection, and standard development activities, SON continues to promote accuracy, traceability, fairness, compliance across sectors of the economy. So we recognize that for Nigeria to achieve sustainable industrialization, global competitiveness under the federal government Nigerian First policy, our products and services must meet international accepted standards and measurement requirements. And that we do that by way of accreditations. Accurate measurement is therefore not merely a technical necessity, it is a strategic economic tool that supports innovation, facilitates trade, enhances consumer confidence, and attracts investments. SON remains committed to deepening collaboration with stakeholders to strengthen metrology capacity and improve quality assurance systems nationwide. I wish to particularly encourage industries and businesses to invest more in proper calibration systems, quality control mechanisms, and conformity assessment processes. This is essential not only for regulatory compliance, but also for improving productivity, reducing waste, and enhancing the competitiveness of Nigerian products in regional and global markets.
Goodwill messages from representatives of government agencies and the organized private sector commended SON's efforts in advancing standardization, quality assurance, and metrology in Nigeria.
It is in recognition of the important role that Standard Organization of Nigeria play in our practical and lived experiences that we sought your expertise and collaboration to train 16 NIME staff in the areas of occupational health and safety management system and the educational organization management systems back in 2024. These staff form the backbone needed to drive the implementation and audit of these standards in our organization. We recognize the Standard Organization of Nigeria as a frontline leader and partner in establishment of standard of measurement. As such, we would love to work with you as important collaborator and friends in setting up our calibration laboratory for the ISO IEC 17025 standard.
At 7-Up Bottling Company, precision in measurement is vital to delivering the highest quality products millions of Nigerians trust every day. We all know that the cost of poor calibration is enormous. One of them is legal battle. And again, we deeply appreciate SON's unwavering commitment to enforcing standards. They come to our factories and we get to answer the questions and do the do. And advancing Nigerians' measurement infrastructure, ensuring a fair and competitive market. When he made a remark, he said he went to a country and by the time they were weighing, it was not the same. Of course, at that time, trust has become an issue at that point. Thank you for your continued partnership and for championing excellence across the Nigerian industrial sector. Thank you very much.
In the petroleum industry, accurate measurement is indispensable, from custody transfer and product quality assurance to environmental monitoring, safety compliance, and revenue accountability. Metrology plays a central role in ensuring that public confidence and operational integrity across the midstream sector of our economy value chain is sustained. At NMDPRA, we recognize that trust in regulations is strengthened where measurements are precise, traceable, and verifiable. This is why we continue to support initiatives that promote standardization, calibration inspection, and global best practices. On behalf of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Authority, NMDPRA, I congratulate the SON for their invaluable contribution to industry, trade, science, and governance.
What we are celebrating today is very important to us because when you produce and you don't have the quality, nobody will buy. And that's one thing that we have been grateful to SON over the years. You have a regulatory agency who is also your collaborator. And that's what we have been enjoying from SON. To us, the man, SON is one regulatory agency that is also part of us without compromising the standards. And for what we are celebrating today, which is metrology building trust in policy making, it's so important to us that it gives us the confidence that with SON, we can approach the continental market, which is just here, the AFCFTA. And the DJ, I would like to say on behalf of the manufacturers and on behalf of the Council of MAN to say that we are really grateful and we're with you. and we will continue to cooperate with SON. And I want to thank you and congratulate you for this day. Thank you very much.
In his presentation on this year's theme, Professor Abdul Karim Nasir of the Federal University of Technology, Minna, highlighted the role of accurate measurement systems in evidence-based governance, regulatory confidence, and national development.
World Metrology Day commemorates the signing of Meter Convention of 20th May 1875, a landmark agreement that laid the foundation for global uniformity in measurement. Institutions such as International Bureau of Weight and Measures and the International Organization of Legal Metrology continue to uphold this legacy, ensuring that measurements are reliable and comparable across borders. If you have poor measurements, that leads to unreliable data, and unreliable data leads to weak policies or poor policies. And when you have poor policies, ultimately and very unfortunately, erodes public trust. So, methodology is actually inseparable from evidence-based policy making. The Nigerian context. In Nigeria, the role of metrology in policy making is both critical and rapidly evolving. The country's ambition to diversify its economy, strengthen industrialization, improve governance, and enhance global competitiveness cannot be achieved without reliable and internationally traceable measurement system. Virtually every major national priority, whether related to economic growth, public health, or energy reform, depends directly or indirectly on accurate measurement. Accurate and reliable measurement. Nigeria's growing participation in international trade agreements, regional integration initiatives, further increases the importance of metrology. Products intended for export must satisfy internationally recognized testing, calibration, and certification requirements. Nigeria at the moment faces significant developmental and institutional challenges that constrain the effectiveness of its meteorological infrastructure. These challenges include limited technical capacity, inadequate laboratory facilities, insufficient investment, and low public awareness of measurement science. Nevertheless, these challenges also present substantial opportunities. With deliberate investments, strategic reforms, and stronger policy integration, Nigeria can build a robust national quality infrastructure capable of supporting industrialization, innovation, consumer protection, and evidence-based governance. In a world increasingly defined by science, technology, and evidence-based governance, metrology remains the silent foundation of progress, accountability, and national development.
Remarks by the chairman of the Standards Council of Nigeria and the permanent secretary of the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment further reinforce the importance of metrology in industrial growth and national development.
I believe that through sustained collaboration and mutual understanding and shared commitment to national development, we can collectively reposition SON to achieve even greater impact in service delivery and economic transformation. The theme for this year, Metrology, Building Trust in Policymaking, reflects the growing importance of accurate measurement systems in shaping effective governance and sustainable economic planning. In every modern economy, policies are expected to deliver measurable outcomes, whether in healthcare, manufacturing, agriculture, energy, telecommunications, environmental management, or trade. Decisions are only as reliable as the data and measurement upon which they are based. Accurate measurement creates confidence in system and institution products and services. I must commend the Director General, Chief Executive, and the entire management and staff of SON for their commitment and professionalism in advancing the organization's mandate and supporting the federal government's industrial transformation agenda.
This year's theme, Metrology, Building Trust in Policy Making, is both timely and profoundly important. It reminds us of a truth that is often overlooked. Every sound policy begins with reliable measurement. Before governments act, they must know. Before industries invest, they must verify. Before citizens trust, they must be assured, and assurance begins with measurement. Simply put, if we cannot measure well, we cannot govern well. So what must we do? Permit me to propose 5 national priorities. First, institutional leadership. Metrology must move from the margins to the mainstream of policy making. Measurement experts should not be consulted after policies fail. They should be involved before policies are launched. Second, strengthening national infrastructure. Nigeria must continue strengthening our National Metrology Institute, legal metrology systems, accredited laboratories, and testing facilities. Modern laboratories, reliable calibration systems, digital traceability, and internationally recognized standards are no longer luxuries. They are necessities for industrial growth and global competitiveness. Fourth, building a strong quality infrastructure. A nation that measures well governs well, but instruments alone do not produce excellence. People do. Nigeria must continue investing in metrologists, laboratory scientists, engineers, statisticians, inspectors, and data professionals. Our universities and technical institutions should strengthen measurement science across engineering, health sciences, agriculture, manufacturing, and environmental studies. We must also equip policymakers to better interpret evidence and data. Fifth, partnerships and international cooperation. Measurement systems inspire trust when they are transparent and globally comparable. Nigeria must deepen collaboration with international metrology institutions, regional bodies, development partners, and the private sector. Through partnerships, we strengthen credibility. Through credibility, we strengthen competitiveness. I wish to sincerely commend the dedicated efforts of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, the National Metrology Institute, laboratory professionals, inspectors, standard experts, statisticians, educators, and all stakeholders whose work often happens quietly, but whose impact touches every sector of national life. Your diligence gives confidence to our markets, credibility to our institutions, and integrity to our policies.
Also presented at the event was an overview of the National Metrology Institute by engineer Dr. Ayuba Samuel Oshie, highlighting its role in ensuring accurate, reliable, and internationally traceable measurement systems in Nigeria.
We have a lot that has been done in the National Metrology Institute, and I'm very sure many people did not know the level of work that has gone into the NMI. The National Metrology Institute was designed to house about 18 laboratories with a workshop. That's the schematic drawing. And it started in different phases. The structure has gone, I think, almost 90% completion right now. This is the front view, the administrative block, and the perimeter fencing that has just been completed by our current Director General. Let me quickly say that before the current administration of Dr. Ifeanyi Chukwunonso Okeke, this was like an abandoned project. We were actually operating from another office, and it was not in line with international best practice. So when he came in, he said, Ayuba, move into that property. It was challenging. People have told me that there is python there, but this is where we are today. After the administrative block, we have block C and block B. These are the actual laboratories. And this block B and block C, each of them has about 18 laboratories, primary laboratories and secondary laboratories. And they are in-house, airtight, because of the environmental conditions that the standards must be kept. Now, the National Metrology Institute is a department under the Standards Organization of Nigeria, and like our DG says, a component of the National Quality Infrastructure. Now, you may be wondering, why is NMI resident in Son? It's because of the Act. The Act under Section 5 has directed Standards Organization or mandated Standards Organization to develop these infrastructures for the use of Nigerians. And these are the responsibility that was saddled. That was why the organization must come up with an infrastructure to be able to fulfill in compliance with the act I established. Go to the next slide. These are the components of the national quality infrastructure. Under metrology, we have scientific metrology, industrial metrology, and legal metrology. Standards Organization of Nigeria is saddled with the responsibility of handling the scientific and industrial metrology, while the legal metrology is under the Department of Weights and Measure, Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade, and Investment. I'm happy their director is here today. Next slide, please. Now, currently, in the National Metrology Institute, we have about 11 laboratories that are very functional. And we have in the mass, in the temperature, length and dimension, flow, volume, pressure, force, hardness, torque, electrical and electronics. And then we also have metrology in chemistry. And the NMI, our prof, during his lesson, told us that no country stands in isolation when it comes to metrology. You must check your weights. 1 kilogram in Nigeria should be 1 kilogram in US. And one of the platforms that creates such opportunity is intercomparisons. And Nigeria participated fully in intercomparison organized by the ECOMET Assembly under the field of mass, pressure, temperature, and small volume. Small volume is under MIC laboratory, and these are the results. That's the result. And Nigeria is in a very good standing amongst the 7 countries that participated in that intercomparison. Now, currently, NMI is participating in an intercomparison in the area of mass between 1 kilogram and 5 kilogram, organized by AfriMet. This intercomparison, we have 12 countries participating, and I'm sure in the next 1 or 2 months, the artifact will be arriving in Nigeria so that we can take our own measurement and then we'll move it to Ghana. So that is one of the work that NMI does to maintain traceability for our practitioners, industries, and manufacturers. But this is not a child's play. It's heavily funded. So it's not, if I tell you the amount, you'll be surprised. Accreditation is a declaration of competence. And somebody must check you. You cannot check yourself. Somebody must check you. So EJAC of Egypt was requested to carry out accreditation of NMI. It's very expensive. You know, sometimes when I get these bills and I'm going to meet the DG, I'll be wondering, NMI is not the only department. So if we are taking this much, how about the other department? But once I go to him, he said, Ayuba, is it going to work? I say, yes, sir. He said, go ahead. So, and we have achieved a lot. So right now we started with 3 laboratories: mass, temperature, pressure, MIC. And the story is beautiful, beautiful. Right now, we are 95.5% completed. One of the non-conformity was the renewal of the traceability of the equipment that we took to Egypt. So it has been calibrated now. As I come back, we'll send the final report and we'll wait for our certificate. In 3 fields. In fact, Sierra Leone called me when I made a presentation during the ECOMET assembly. He said, Ayuba, you are taking this too big. He said, just take one small and start. I said, Nigeria is the leader in Africa. We cannot start small. So, NMI in the future, we are looking at registering private practitioners. Somebody made mention of that. We are looking at registering all private practitioners to have access into our standards. We have a lot of standards that are there. They're supposed to be busy 24 hours, especially our secondary standards. So we must register them because we cannot give you the standards to use if you don't have the competence to handle them well. So we will register them, train them, and they pay a cost, and we give you the standards to go and do calibration and bring it back. So that is one of the future we are developing because we are NMI. All traceability must come from NMI. Anywhere, even if you go and take traceability out of the country, you're on your own. The Act says, take your traceability from NMI. And the NMI has been established. Now, there is no reason why I am not taking traceability from NMI. Number 2, we are thinking of providing training and retraining for all our private practitioners. The equipment we have, very few of them have such equipment. So we need to train them. Because in metrology, there is provision for government-established NMI, there is provision for private practitioner. So we must create a platform where those who are providing private practice does not spoil our name in Nigeria. So we will train them. And then we'll conduct training services for industries and government on how to check their equipments during verification, maybe during production processes. And we'll be coordinating PT. PT is proficiency testing. Proficiency testing unit is one of the things that guarantees accreditation. What does it mean? 4 or 5 laboratories can come together and say we want to do proficiency testing within ourselves in the area of temperature, in the area of mass, and then we compare readings and then arrive at the report. Based on that report, you know the integrity of your equipment. This one knows the integrity of his equipment because they are what? Aligned with the equipment Activa from NMI. In Africa right now, we don't have any that provides PT. Within West Africa rather, we don't have any that provides PT except if ECOMET sponsor or PTB sponsor. So we want to start that unit in NMI. And that will help us to accredit more laboratory. Now that NINA has also obtained its own recognition, NINA will play a very key role, but they need that PT report. Now, number 5, we want to partner with academic institutions in the country on metrology. Now, when I went to Egypt, almost every person you see, doctor this, doctor that, doctor this, doctor that. And they are the one running everywhere. Associate prof, this and that. They are affiliated with universities, institutions of learning, where they carry out research and develop papers, and they are awarded higher degrees. I was telling my staff, everybody that is first degree should go and do his masters. Those that are doing masters should go and do their PhD. Because you are not just somebody that you should talk and people should listen to you. So we want to liaise later when we develop the framework. We have institutions of learning in Enugu, ESUT, UNN, who will be very glad to partner with us. We have also exchange. They can send their students to the laboratory for 2-3 weeks, 3 more, to learn something about metrology. That will boost the capacity of NMI, capacity of their staff, and also increase the knowledge of metrology in Nigeria. And then we are looking at equipping more laboratory and with the state-of-the-art equipment, and then increase more liaison offices as funds permit, so that we can reach everywhere. Nigeria is still wide, and we still need to cover more grounds. Thank you so much for listening. And please, I want to beg you to please rise on your feet and let's give our DG a big hand of applause for supporting the National Metrology Institute and for the work we have done. It is not easy.
The keynote address delivered by Senator John Owan Eno Honourable Minister of State for Industry stressed the importance of reliable measurement systems in governance, fair trade and national development.
In a world increasingly driven by data, innovation, and evidence-based decision-making, the credibility of measurement system has become central to the credibility of policy itself. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, metrology, the science of measurement, extends far beyond laboratory and technical environments. It is embedded in every aspect of our lives and economic activities. At the core of effective governance is reliable data, and the core of reliable data is trustworthy measurement. Where measurement is weak, policy becomes speculative and implementation is compromised. However, where measurement systems are strong, governance becomes more transparent, accountable, and result-oriented. It is also important to recognize that inconsistency in measurement continue to contribute to product rejection, reduced competitiveness, and limited access to international markets for many of our local industries. In conclusion, let me emphasize that no nation can achieve sustainable development without reliable measurement. If we are to build a resilient economy, strengthen public confidence, promote fair trade, and ensure effective governance, then metrology must occupy its rightful place at the center of our national development agenda. Let us therefore continue to invest in robust measurement system and enforce a national culture that values precision, credibility, and accountability.
Rounding off the event, the Honourable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, reaffirmed the importance of metrology, standardization and quality assurance in national development.
This year, as we celebrate, we recognize the theme, Metrology Building Trust in Policy Making. This theme highlights how precise measurements are crucial in building a sustainable economy and protecting our planets for future generations. I would like to thank our experts and scientists, policymakers, regulators, captain of industries, researchers and students for your unwavering commitment to accuracy of measurements and precision. Your work ensures that measurements are dependable, promoting safety, quality, technological advancement, which is high level, and transformation-oriented investment and policy that will no doubt boost access to confidence to produce and enhance economic transformations. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring it to your attention that a lot has been done in the areas of quality regulations and enforcement of standards and developments. Metrology to enhance policy trust and reduce the production and circulation of substandard products in Nigeria. By the enabling acts of Standard Organization of Nigeria, imbibing the culture of upholding standards, operators in every sector of the economy will get it right. Lives are saved and economic development is assured. With some state-of-art National Metrology Institute located in Enugu for calibration of measuring instruments, establishment of license office in Lagos, Kano, Abuja, and Port Harcourt, high-level capacity buildings, personnel, accreditation of our calibration services in the area of mass, temperature, pressure, and value, which is nearly completion, and digitalization of our various processes to serve our numerous stakeholders. I therefore invite you to join hands with Standard Organization to fight an influx of standard products and create a healthy nation by prioritizing standardization, quality assurance, and metrology in Nigeria. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless you, and thank you all.
The event underscored the critical role of metrology in policy making, strengthening regulatory frameworks, facilitating fair trade, and enhancing public confidence in national systems.